Guten Erev Shabbos, my dear friends. Parshas Pekudei, Shabbos Chazak. Here in Brooklyn, we light the candles at 6:45. You can check your local candle lighting times at Chabad.org. Men, make sure to put on tefillin before sunset, and please pray for our brothers and sisters in Eretz Israel, for the hostages to come back safely, and for Mashiach to come. Indeed, this parsha is a very powerful parsha. We conclude the second book of the Torah, the book of Shmois, book of Exodus, book of redemption, and we say, Chazak, Chazak v'nischazek. Let us be strong and let us strengthen ourselves. And we get a lot of strength from this portion. We read about the building of the tabernacle, the temple, and how God dwells in the temple. You see, the Jewish people, after they came out of Egypt, they received the Torah from Hashem. Later, they committed a terrible sin of worshiping the golden calf. And that put a danger of destroying the entire Jewish people. But Moses went up to Hashem and he asked forgiveness, and God indeed forgave them. And he instructed them to build the temple. So you can only imagine the excitement when everyone participated, gave everything what they had, all the materials, and everyone who was able to build the parts of the temple they did, and they put it together. And then when it comes to build the temple, they couldn't do it. So the Torah says, "Vayaviu samishkan el Moshe." They brought everything, the entire temple, to Moshe Rabbeinu. And Hashem says to Moshe, "You just put your hand, as if you build it, and it's going to come up by itself." And the Rabbi explains that the building of the temple is to bring God's dwelling in a physical place. This is something a human being cannot do. You can do everything, you do everything what you can, but ultimately it has to come from Hashem. That is why everyone participated in everything what they could, but then they had to bring it to Moshe Rabbeinu, to Moses. Moses is the one who stands between us and Hashem, the one who is nullified to God. That is why when he puts his hand, then Hashem dwells in this. The question that we can ask, we know that same tabernacle, the temple that they had, they traveled with this temple from place to place for 40 years. And every time they took it apart and they put it back together. And then it was done by the Jewish people, it wasn't done by Moses. So how could they do it? By themselves without Moses. And the Rebbe explains that once Moshe Rabbeinu built the temple, and he brought the Shekhinah down, he brought Hashem down into this temple, that power was given to each and every one of us. Each and every Jew had the power. There is a little Moses in each and every one. And the message to us is how to build our own temple. You see, the temple is not just a physical place in the desert or in Jerusalem. The Torah says, "Ve'asu li mikdash v'shachanti betocham." You make me a temple and I will dwell in them. In every one of us there is the temple. There is the beams, there is the coverings which represents different parts of us, our will, our powers, our emotions, our intellect. It's all indicated in the temple. And our job is to do everything we can in our physical capabilities to do the right thing. But ultimately, if we want Hashem to dwell, we need to bring it to Moshe. Our temple, we need to bring to Moshe Rabbeinu. What does it mean? Bring it to your own Moshe deep inside you. That the Moshe that is connected to Hashem and realizes that it's not you who are doing things, it is Hashem who is doing things. And then this is how you bring it to Moshe, the leader of the generation, the Rebbe. And with the Rebbe's blessing, you're able to succeed. You're able to succeed beyond expectations. There's so many shluchim of the Rebbe that can testify that when they go out there and they build buildings and they reach out to people, and it seems like they're great success stories. And we can tell you that it's not their doing. It is the bracha. It is the blessing they get from the Rebbe. The Moshe Rabbeinu in the generation brings out the power within us, that we are able to do beyond what we think we can do. And this way, each and every one of us becomes a shliach, becomes a messenger, an emissary of the Rebbe, to spread the word of Hashem in this world and to build a temple for Hashem. And together, this will bring the building of the third Beis HaMikdash HaShlishi. It should be very soon, amen, with the coming of Mashiach. Have a good Shabbos. Chazak, chazak, v'nischazeik. Let us be strong and let us strengthen ourselves and see Mashiach very soon, amen. Good Shabbos.